Sorry, I was rambling on there. So.
No, you're all good.
Good. My name is Robert Cutrell. This is Williamsburg Fire Department. I'm a firefighter paramedic. I've been here for about 2 years. The crew, culture of the crew, you know, it can't be explained. It's not like other jobs. You know, it's like its own hierarchy. Yeah, the way we settle things here, get you fired somewhere else. You know, it's like this is like how humans are supposed to react. You know, it's just that person to person, you know, get to the point, and you know, like the fun. Right? We joke around. It is just something that just can't be explained. Like just every day, you know, I'm just tired, but I'm still excited to go to work. It's the best job in the world. Waking up at night, oh, that is the worst. You know, that 3 a.m. toe pain that's been going on for 5 months. You know, that's like, you know, part of you's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to this again. But you know, the other part is, you know, got to have the patience that, you know, not everybody has the same resources as you. So you really got to, you know, put the patient first, put the citizen first, and realize like they're calling for a reason. So you kind of have to just suck it up and be there for them and have that empathy. But yeah, waking up after midnight, that's the hard part. Make sure it works for your family. You know, it's not a Monday through Friday. You're not putting your kids down to bed every night, right? There's 24 hours. You're at work. You're unavailable to your family. You know, you got to have a good partner that can take care of your home while you're gone. And that time apart, you got to have the confidence that, you know, when you come back, you're hoping you're not receiving a dumpster fire, right? That's it. So if you have a family that can handle you being gone, then you could try it. The other thing is make sure that you can handle someone telling you clearly and plainly what they don't like about you, right? If you can't handle that part, you're not going to handle this job. That was my day off, fight training. So, you know, I help coach and I train to fight. I'm a cage fighter. And I look forward to getting in with the young guys and, you know, getting hard work, letting them beat me up and sharing some of my wisdom and my many years of getting clobbered on. And that's what I look forward to on my days off. Becoming a firefighter was kind of like a multi-step process. It wasn't like, hey, I didn't grow up wanting to be a firefighter. I was pursuing a career in martial arts and COVID happened. Just, you know, I wasn't the only one that lost their job during COVID. My wife had just had a baby. COVID happened. My school was closed. Our team was dissolved. There were no events going on. You know, there was no income on my part, and my wife had to go back to work. So she cut her maternity leave short, and I'm at home watching my wife, who wants to be at home with her child, and it was crushing. As a man, I was devastated. It's like, you know, to be a provider is kind of like one of those tenets that every man should have. And at that moment, the things that I pursued in life, I was not capable to extend myself as a man to provide for her. And I thought I can't allow that to ever happen again. It made me start thinking on the inside, like, all right, well, what should I do? And a little more backstory, my father passed away when I was young in a house fire. He was trying to rescue my half-brother, and he got me and my younger brother out, but multiple times found himself, you know, going right back into the building. And he ended up perishing from the fire. And my brother also passed away. And I didn't have that father figure there. I had almost like the thought of what would he do. It has been like a position that I set myself up for. And I thought, all right, I don't have a job. I don't have an income. I've been pursuing a career in martial arts. And what would my father do right now? And I felt like I was giving up a dream. I'm no longer going to be a professional fighter. That was giving up. And then I thought, what would my father do? Well, he gave his life for his son. That wasn't even his blood relative, his stepson. He gave his life for his children. I can give up my dream, right? My worldly dream. I can give that up. So I remembered, what do I want to do? And I was like, well, I don't really know what I want to do. Fighting was kind of what I threw all my chips on. And then my spiritualness, I I realized I wasn't moving the way God intended me. I wasn't giving back to anybody. I was pursuing a worldly dream, and I wasn't fulfilling the kingdom. And I remembered I started martial arts long ago to protect myself, to protect those around me. I was called to serve. I was like, what's the most serving jobs? That's helping the needy, the sick, the poor. And I realized I want to help people. There's not very many jobs that you can go from no education to being a full-time career and serving in a very short amount of time with benefits. Firefighting was the perfect fit. They pay you in the academy. You're immediately getting health insurance, and I was like, this is it. Paramedic. Fire is fun, but I felt a calling to the medical aspect of it. And that started this whole career, this journey of finding a department that would support me to become a paramedic. And that's how I found myself here. When I'm pursuing the life that I think God intended, I feel the most fulfillment. And not that I've completely quit fighting. I still coach, I still fight. It just hasn't been the main thing anymore. And so where I look at, hey, time lost, it really wasn't, because now I look at where I'm at in life, and I know my children can look up to me like I know my dad thought of me every step of the way. And now I've got 2 children. I've got a wife that is totally on board with all my extracurricular activities. And this is the happiest I've been in a long time. So, yeah.